Hi.
Hello.
Happy Sunday.
I got stuck. Happy Sunday. I'm stopping at a stop sign. Hey guys. So I'm Ramy, and this is Monica,
his wife,
my beautiful wife, and we have the Eden Intensive, which is a mentorship coaching group where we mentor Christians and help them heal their hearts and relationships
so that they can thrive in what Jesus has called them to.
So we're just jumping on here to talk about the subject of those feelings that feel unsafe inside of you, those things that that you've been stuffing. And first of all, I want to welcome you to interact with what we're saying. Please comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and even as we're talking, we can address like questions or anything like that. We would love to do that. And when you feel like, oh man, this is like something that I would like to learn more about, please ask us, and we'd love to engage in that conversation with you. So let's go.
Let's go. So Ramy and I have both experienced this in our lives. Like, we've had seasons of life where there's stuff that we sometimes don't even realize we're avoiding. It's like,
yeah, and they still come up every once in a while. You're like, oh wow, I've been feeling that.
I've been running away from that, you know. And other times you're like, you definitely know you're avoiding it. You're like, I can't deal with that. That's too much. Or even this happens a lot with Christians. Is like in this thought of, they think they're taking their thoughts captive, they actually just suppress it and shove it away.
Yeah.
And that's not healthy. That's not taking your thoughts captive. And so we just really want to dive into the subject and talk about like how to healthily respond to that. And honestly, I wish I would have known this back at the beginning of my journey, because it would have saved me a lot of years of anxiety.
Yeah, so what it can feel like, and what it often feels like, is either a pit in your chest, or even like it feels like a fog in your brain, or it can feel like
just like a wall,
like kind of a wall, or like sometimes a wall feels like fear. You know what I mean? And it's like it's like there's you're aware of this thing that's in your mind. It may be a fear, it may be like a pain or something, but or a belief, and it's like, I'm not going there. It's like whenever this pain rises up, you're like, no, and you stuff it back, and it actually feels like a prison inside. And I've only recently become more aware of that. Well, not recently, but like in the last year or so, really. Well, I guess it would have been longer ago. I'm always saying, like, when I told Monica my story early on,
25.
Everything was at the age of 25. So
his timeline is kind of like, he doesn't think.
I don't think linearly, which you know is a really God thing, because time isn't a thing for him. He has every moment in one, or no, just joking. But anyways, really discovering, like, you know, help, like we want to help you discover. We want to help you start seeing the things that you're avoiding. And something I want to promise you in this journey is that when you let those things, when you start being open to look at those things, you actually
flying in. Caffeina, okay. You actually, probably like 7 years ago, when you went through depression, or even when you graduated high school, you had a counselor.
Yeah, I could tell you that story. So after high school, I had a lot of disappointment, a lot of fear, because I felt so trapped a lot of my high school years, just in like fear of rejection, and there was just so many things bottled up. After I graduated, I found myself like depressed, fearful, anxious, all that stuff. And what ended up happening was I ended up sharing with my mom, and she's like, hey, it probably would be really helpful for you to go see a counselor. So I went to go see a counselor, and person that you knew, like everything you said was confidential. You didn't have to be afraid of what they thought of you, or
if they'd reject you,
This is the power of having a counselor or a mentor like what we do.
Yeah.
Is that you have a safe space to heal, where you don't receive judgment, where you don't like, I don't know, it's just like this safe place, because you know, like it's not like opening up to your friend or whatever. It's just a safe place where you can actually process and be messy and not be judged. So that's what was happening, and I was blown away, and I started opening up more and more. And one thing he said never left me. It's one of these vivid moments. I was actually walking through a golf course. We were just we sat down on a bench and we just talked, and it was really great. He said, Ramey, one of these days you're gonna need to get down on your knees all by yourself in your room, and picture, hi Jennifer, picture this box in the back of your head where you've been stuffing all of this fear, or these secrets, or these this anxiety, these things that you just can't, like, we all have that. We all have this box in the back of our head where we just shove things and we're like, hide it, don't look at it, can't deal with that. And part of it is safety, which is sometimes that can be really good.
Yeah, coping.
But he said someday you're gonna have to get down on your knees in your room and just open that box and let all of that out before the Lord, like, and that's all I remember of that moment. And I don't know how long after, but I did it. And so what it felt like, and this is going to be really helpful to you, what it felt like was
looking at those things.
Oh, there's a bunch of noise.
Oh, it's
okay.
our AC. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, what it felt like was like I was on my knees. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and the thought that came to my mind was, man, if I even open up these subjects, my life is surely gonna fall apart. It felt like that feeling of stepping like on the edge of a cliff, and if I take another step, like all hell's gonna break loose. It felt that way. That's how it will feel, guys. I just want to reassure you, that is your protective mechanism. It's a good thing, but it's misplaced.
Yeah. Well,
and you surely won't.
Yeah, you surely won't.
It's going to feel a lot safer than you think.
And the huge thing, one of the reasons that you've been avoiding it is because you have felt unsafe with that thing. And so the goal here to healthily deal with it is actually to create safety for you to be able to heal it. And so that could be like, you've got to have safety within yourself, because one of the reasons that you are so afraid of it is that you have shame and judgment toward yourself about that. And so if you deal with that, you're like, you have this wall up that's like that part of me is so unlovable. It's so, like, it can't be seen, it can't be known, it can't be heard. And the reality is, we need to pull back the shame. We need to pull back the self-judgment. We need to create safety within yourself, or safety within another relationship. And that's what we love to provide for our clients, is like in our Eden Intensive, that's our goal, is to provide a safe place where people can heal. Because I posted this the other day, but like, relationships heal in the soil of safety. Right. The reality is, like, that even includes relationship with ourselves.
Right. And here's what's going to happen when you start this journey. See, it's going to feel really, it probably will feel really scary, but it'll really soon after that feel really relieving. And I would recommend doing this in community, whether it's in our Eden Intensive, or not, please just message us if you're interested in knowing more, like in our comments, or personal message us. But what's going to happen is you're going to suddenly feel a peace in your mind, because suddenly you don't have all this underlying chatter in your brain that's fear reaction. And whether you know it or not, right now, like, you're living life with all these voices in the back of your head, like, oh, don't do that. Oh no, don't do that. Oh no, your life's gonna fall apart. Don't say that. Okay, or this pain is rising up, and you're like, I can't feel pain. You're stuffing it back in. Guys, it is a journey to grow in safety with yourself, and that is reality. But I want to tell you that this is gonna feel so good and safe, and your mind is going to clear up. And obviously, I would say this as well, you can't do it without God. Like, when I came out of the biggest time of compromise of sin in my life, the next morning, after repenting, after asking the Lord forgiveness for specific things, I woke up and I finally heard the birds. My brain was empty in a good way, in a safe way. It was like I could it almost felt like I could finally breathe again. You know, it's like you're holding your breath, and you can't breathe because
go on.
Because all of this is building inside of your head, inside of your heart.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback on that like we can't. Yeah, we will later. We can't do it without the Lord. And some of you may not even feel safe with the Lord. You may feel like He's disappointed with you, or He disapproves of you, or He's rejected you, or any number of things. And so even like, there is no shame in needing to just like start on a very simple relational level, like, because the reality of who God is and stuff, like, you don't need to bombard yourself with truth. Like, safety is a way that God created us to thrive in relationship, and so that's okay for you to receive that from other people.
Yeah, and I just want to reassure you too, is God is attracted to messes. He's really attracted to messes. I just want to prove this to you. Look in the Bible. Peter was one of his inner circle. Peter was messy. Peter said the wrong things. He did the wrong things. He was impulsive. And Jesus was even accused of being a drunkard and a partier, because he hung out with messy people. Not for this. He didn't party. He didn't sin, but he was attracted to people in tough situations. Like, he also said, I didn't come for the healthy, I came for the sick. So just in thinking about, hi Kent, in thinking about, like, if you feel distant from God and not able, and you don't feel safe to invite Him in that, think about Him being that. And it really, you can also just invite a safe person in your life. Think of maybe a Christian, or maybe even not a Christian, if you're not in that point, where someone that really feels safe to be able to be with you, or to imagine they're with you, that comfort, because that comfort that you feel with that person is similar to what you feel with God, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good. If you guys have any questions, hi Mark.
Margaret.
If you have any questions, we'd love to hear them. Anything that stood out to you. Again, we help Christians walk through this exact stuff to get emotionally and relationally healthy, so that they can thrive in everything that Jesus has created them for. And our intensive is called the Eden Intensive. It's a 6-month just deep dive into healing relationship with God, with yourself, and with others. And we we want to invite you, if you're interested, we're going to drop the link below, and you can go get started with us right now if you're ready. If you have more questions, we would be more than happy to hop on a call with you.
Yep, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Have a good day. Happy Sunday.